From every angle, the Mazda 5 defies convention. But before we start, I'd like to first thank the amazing folks over at Community Outlet Center of Spencer, Indiana. Make sure you check them out online as they always seem to have a very diverse inventory in rotation. Hello and welcome to another episode of the In-Depth Review series where we take an older, once mainstream car and review it as if it were brand new. This is how Neighborhood Car Reviews digitally preserves these cars to enjoy for years to come. So what exactly is a Mazda 5? This is one baffling car. Sliding doors, Mazda says, that are inspired by the traditional Soji sliding partitions, 6-passenger seating with 3 rows, and a vehicle roughly the size of the Mercedes-Benz A220. Mazda states that the 5 functions like a minivan, sips fuel like a compact, and drives like a sports sedan. It was the first Mazda to incorporate their Nagari, or flow, design language into the cars. The Mazda 5 was first introduced to the North American market in 2010 and was based on the Mazda Primacy vehicle in Japan. In 2012, there was a mid-cycle facelift and was discontinued in North America in 2015 due to sluggish sales. Canada saw the 5 until 2017. Our Mazda 5 was produced in Hiroshima in October of 2013. Hello everyone. In today's latest installment of the In-Depth Review series, we're taking a detailed in-depth walk-around look at this very nice and very well equipped 2014 Mazda 5. Now this Mazda 5 is the Grand Touring package, so top of the line. It is painted in crystal white mica. It is a pearl coat paint, and it features the black and sand leather interior. Full pricing is shown on screen, and a full options list is in the description box below, so make sure you head over there and check that out. Today's review is going to be a full, detailed, in-depth review. We're going to cover everything from the exterior to the interior, powertrain, fuel economy, and everything else in between. First things first, one thing looking at this car, one thing I really love is all of the character lines. You got that swooping fender line here, kind of disappears into the door. And then you have like these wave patterns that go all the way across almost seamlessly through the entire length of the car, going right into the sliding door tracks and kind of disappearing into the character lines. Just a really, really cool seamless touch there. In North America, the Mazda 5 was only front-wheel drive and was powered by one engine, the 2.5-liter MZR L5VE dual overhead cam 16-valve inline 4-cylinder. This engine is of aluminum block and head construction with variable valve timing, electronic multi-port fuel injection, and a 9.7-to-1 compression ratio. This engine creates 157 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 163 pound-feet of torque at 4,000 RPM. Car and Driver magazine tested their Mazda 5 from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 9.0 seconds. 0 to 100 miles per hour comes in at 28.9 seconds, with the quarter mile hitting in at 17.1 seconds at 82 miles per hour. Top speed was not recorded, but most likely limited to around 115 miles per hour. The Mazda 5 is equipped with a 15.9 US gallon fuel capacity and consumes 4.2 gallons per 100 miles driven, with an estimated total driving range of 381 miles. EPA fuel economy figures are 22 miles per gallon in the city, 28 miles per gallon on the highway, and a combined average of 24 miles per gallon. Touring and Grand Touring were only available with the electronically controlled 5-speed automatic transmission, with the shift lever set high on the dash, which falls easily at hand, and sits in a Mercedes-Benz style gated shift bezel, and features manual shift capability and a 3.46-to-1 axle ratio. Steering is electro-hydraulic power-assisted variable rate, vehicle speed-sensitive rack and pinion with 2.7 turns lock-to-lock, a 36.7-foot turning radius, and a 16.2-to-1 overall steering ratio. Wheels are 17 by 6.5 inch silver painted aluminums and are shot on 205/50 R17 General Ultimax RT45 all-season tires. Brakes are hydraulic power assisted 4-wheel disc brakes with ABS, electronic brake force distribution, and brake assist. Up front, we have 11.8-inch vented rotors with 11.9-inch solid rotors in the rear. Brakes can halt the Mazda 5 from 70 miles per hour to 0 in 172 feet. And as we walk around the rear of the Mazda 5, there's no mistaking that it is designed to look like a minivan, even though Mazda states that it's not a minivan. We'll cover the rear styling in detail here in just a second. Alrighty, walking around the rear of the Mazda 5, there's no denying what it really looks like, and that is a minivan. Even though Mazda actually touts it as a crossover SUV, due to the fact of the sliding doors and just the overall upright appearance, it looks more like a minivan. One neat feature I like back here is the way the glass actually kind of like flows around almost seamlessly into this really cool arcing effect here that kind of goes right down the middle of the Mazda logo. That's a really cool touch. And of course you have the overhead spoiler up here, your third brake light, and your wiper washer system there. The taillights actually are disguised into the tracks a little bit. It's kind of a neat little touch there. All translucent red reflectors, all incandescent lighting, amber turn indicators, white reverse lamps, of course, and of course you got your red tail lights and brake lights. And down below you have the Mazda 5 script. We do have ultrasonic parking sensors on this vehicle. Just overall, just a decently sized and shaped little car. Alrighty, now as we're walking along the profile of the vehicle, as you can see on screen, I do have the dimensions listed below. Kind of see where this car fits size-wise. So you can imagine that even though this vehicle does have 3 rows of seats, it is not a very roomy interior, but still pretty thoughtfully laid out, I think. Now, just like we did in the rear, we're going to cover the front in detail, but just walking around the front of the car, it looks more familiar to the Mazda lineup. Very aggressive, sporty, somewhat friendly looking. Alrighty, up front, a little bit more familiar. It looks a lot more like the Mazda lineup. Very sharply raked, aerodynamic looking, very sporty. It does have more of an upright roof line, but it's a steeply sloping windshield. You have the side view mirrors, amber LED turn repeaters on the outside portions of the mirrors. You do have this nice little window right here to help that blind spot. Sculpted aluminum hood coming down into the clear lens headlamps, amber turn indicators. On the Grand Touring, we have xenon high intensity discharge projector beam headlamps. High beams are on the inset. Chrome bezels inside. Down below, of course, we've got requisite fog lamps. And of course, just that Mazda face. Somewhat happy looking. Has the large Mazda wing logo here. Gigantic lower grille intake. Alright, now before we get inside, let's take a look at the key fob. What we get here is just a standard Mazda key fob. Has the Mazda logo on the back, black plastic. You have your lock, unlock, and panic alarm buttons here. No remote start or anything like that. No smart key access. It is a switchblade key. And to unlock the vehicle, we're just going to press the unlock button. And we're going to hop inside and check it out. Alright, so taking a look inside the Mazda 5. Actually, the seats are very comfortable. We'll go into those a little bit more detail. But as you can see on screen, there's your front seat dimensions. And of course, taking a look at the door panels, they are two-tone just like the interior. You do have the sand cloth here. The rest of it is just black plastic. You have these really nice visibility windows here for that A-pillar blind spot. Door-mounted tweeter for the premium audio system. The satin silver metallic trim coming down into the armrest, door pulls, chrome door releases, power lock switch, power mirrors, and power windows are all conveniently located on that panel. Molded door pockets include some storage and a bottle holder, and of course we have door speakers. Now, taking a look at the front driver's side instrument panel, we have our stability control power switch, a blank switch, small little cubby here. We have our headlamp aiming, parking sensor power switch, 2 more blank switches. We've also got this round air vent there, a leather wrap tilt and telescoping steering wheel. Looking down in the footwell, we do have another little storage cubby here. We've only got the gas and brake pedal because it only has an automatic transmission. Hood release is right here. Down here on the floor, you have your fuel door release. No power seats here. Fore and aft adjust is by this bar here. This is your seat cushion up and down, raises and lowers the seat. Seat back angle. And taking a look at the seats. In this car, the seats are very comfortable and they are very supportive. As stated before, of course, it is that sand leather. It does have the perforations on the insets, and it has this dark cranberry piping. Kind of looks black in the video, but it's actually a really dark red. And of course, the seats are heated as well. In addition, because we have the Grand Touring, we also have a power sunroof. Alright, let's hop in and show the rest of the interior. Alrighty, now that we're inside, we're going to show more details. Nice fluidic power assisted steering on a leather wrapped 3-spoke steering wheel. It does have that same metallic silver or graphite accent on the spokes. Mazda logo here in the center. And of course, we have multifunction controls over here, trip computer controls, Bluetooth, radio mode, volume, seek and scan, phone controls over here, and cruise controls over here on the right hand side. Multifunction controls include automatic headlamp control, fog lamp control, indicators, and of course high beams. Over on the right hand side, we have our front and rear wiper washer control. Taking a look straight ahead, a very simple instrument cluster, 8,000 RPM tach, 160 mile per hour speedometer. We have just a digital readout for the fuel gauge, odometer, trip odometer, A and B. The vehicle currently at the time of this recording has 106,643 miles on it. And then of course we have our Prindle display up here, and a digital readout shows whenever we are in manual mode. And of course you can cycle through trip A and trip B. Very simple. Taking a look over the top of the dash, it is all plasticky, very angular and driver focused and oriented. It's not cracked or anything like that, so it does show to be in good shape. The passenger has that same round air vent. You have a nice little storage tray here. And of course, opening the glove box reveals a nice large glove box. Molded door here. But inside is deep. We have the owner's manual and some other stuff. It is a very deep recess, so a lot could be stored inside this glove box. One downside, it does not lock. All right, taking a look overhead. Now, this is kind of common in Japanese cars of this era, where we had a remote display, usually facing upwards, kind of like a heads-up display. On this car, it shows our ambient exterior temperature, time, climate control position. The blank section in the middle is where our radio call-out would be. And over there on the right is our trip computer. And by hitting that info button on the steering wheel, we can cycle through just a couple things. It doesn't show a whole lot. Shows our current miles per gallon, our average, shows our range to empty, and our average speed. And that's about it. Over there is the passenger airbag indicator switch. Moving down, we have 2 positional air vents. We've also got the 4-way flashers and our clock set. Down below is our radio. So we have AM, FM, CD player, Sirius XM satellite radio, USB and auxiliary inputs. I'm not sure if this vehicle has Bluetooth, but I believe it does. But pretty simple to use. And then down below, this vehicle does actually have automatic climate control, single zone climate control, front and rear defroster, panel distribution, and our fan speed, recirculate mode, rear defroster, rear controls, and AC mode. Moving down the center console. Too bad this car doesn't have the 5-speed manual, but we have the gated shifter for the 5-speed automatic. Another storage nook here. Not very big, but it's there. Behind these 2 flaps here, we have a 12-volt power point, and we have our USB input and our auxiliary input jacks. Down here is our heated seat controls for the driver's seat, a proper handbrake, 2 molded cup holders, and a molded storage bin. Another nice feature is the driver and passenger also have their own fold-down armrests. So yeah, there you go. That's the interior of, or the front seat portion at least, of the Mazda 5. Up front, pretty comfortable. Overhead, we do have an automatic dimming rearview mirror. Does feature a 3-channel HomeLink universal garage door opener. Compass in the display up here. We've also got overhead reading lights. And we have our dome override here. And our power sunroof controls are up here. Over here we have vinyl covered sun visors. They do flip up to reveal non-illuminated vanity mirrors. The sun visors do swing, but they do not slide. So you have a lot of portion here uncovered. Height adjustable seat belts. And of course we've also got overhead assist handles. All right, now let's get inside the rear compartment. So we have a sliding door, as you can see here. Opens up to reveal the second row of seats, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at the third row first. So we're just going to flip and fold the seat forward. As you can see, it does not grant a very easy access to the third row, which only seats 2. It is a 50-50 split folding seat. It does have height adjustable head restraints in the backs. Of course, you have your seat belts. And then back here, we've also got cup holders and that kind of stuff. So you're not completely without, but you don't have any kind of USB charge ports or anything like that. No storage, nothing like that at all. Just a very basic, uninspired seat back here. It does the job, but as you can see, it's only really reserved for people who are not very long or tall. But it does have good headroom, though. I will give it that. Now, taking a look at the second row seat, as you can see here, this car actually has individual bucket seats for the second row seats. They can move fore and aft, and also the seat backs can recline. And of course, we can also dump and fold the head restraints. We've also got positional armrest on either side for both seats. And the seats have the same design as the front seats, the perforations, the dark cranberry colored accent piping, all that kind of stuff. Overhead, we do have our overhead assist handles, coat hooks, lighting, and the windows do roll down as well, which is really nice. Also, we have air vents back here that are positional, and of course we have our fan speed and climate controls are back here. Seat back mat pockets in the backs of both front seats. And you'll note something missing, that is cup holders. But actually, they're not. A really cool party trick is holding this tab forward, lifting the seat bottom cushion here, and then putting this out just like this, and then closing your seat back cushion back, reveals a hidden storage net and cup holders for the rear seat passengers. That is a very clever way to do that. And of course, underneath this seat back or seat bottom cushion, you have your own storage in here as well. Not a whole lot, but it's there nonetheless. Alright, now believe it or not, there's only one way to open the liftgate in this car, and that is by opening it through the membrane switch just underneath the Mazda logo. And it does not power open or anything like that. It is held open by hydraulic struts, but this is what you get as far as the cargo capacity in a Mazda 5. This is with the rear seats folded up. So as you can see, or in the upper position, so you can see not a whole lot. It is flat back here, but it doesn't hold a whole lot. You do have some illumination back here, which is nice to have, of course. We've also got a 12-volt power point back here as well. Also very nice to have. And then underneath this small little panel, we have some towing tools and all that kind of stuff, and our compact spare tire, so roadside stuff. Now, if you want to fold these seats, it's very easy, just by clicking on or pulling these levers. And of course, the seats fold down just like that. They do fold flat. So there you go. That is the cargo compartment with the third row seats folded flat. As you can see, does expand your cargo capacity quite a bit. Now let's go ahead and fold down the second row seats. All right, now we have the third row seats in their folded flat position. So as you can see, it does give you a ton of cargo capacity back here. And of course, you can also opt to retain a couple seats open as well. One thing I wanted to show you as well, inside this compartment here is your jack. And over here on this side, inside this little compartment, is just a covered storage well. So there you go. That is the cargo capacity and cargo area of the Mazda 5. To close the liftgate, just like that. Alrighty, and there we have it, the 2014 Mazda 5. We hope you found the review informative, and if you did, please comment down below. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/neighborhoodcarreviews and our Instagram channel at BrensoJ1. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.